Hi Capricorn, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So we're going to do your 2-week reading. We're looking at the 15th through to the 31st of May 2020. For the reading we're going to use the This Might Hurt Tarot deck, and for your spiritual advice we use the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. If we need any clarifiers, I usually just go to the Rider-Waite in a tin, Radiant Rider-Waite in a tin. This week, guys, we're doing just a simple spread. It's a 7-area spread, so we look at the week as a whole, something unexpected that might arise, how to stay grounded and balanced over the next couple of weeks, any important emotion that you may feel over the next couple of weeks, something that might inspire you, advice from your spirit guide, and finally, how to best support yourself over the next couple of weeks. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so Capricorn, we've got the cards down. Let's just bring them up a bit closer here. And let's have a look at what the universe has to tell you. So over the next couple of weeks then, so what's the next couple of weeks looking like as a whole? Juggling a lot of stuff probably, because the Two of Coins is all about trying to juggle things. So this is all about work-life balance, children, work, romance, obligations, responsibilities. Could also be something about having to manage your money as well. So with the Two of Coins, it's all about trying to create balance or bring some form of balance back to your finances, or it could be anything, but really the twos are all about duality and balance. So this looks to me like some of you guys, the focus for the next couple of weeks could be about trying to balance certain things, and really when we're trying to balance things, we're trying to bring things back into alignment. So this is a couple of weeks really for focusing on aligning certain things within your life. And what is there something unexpected that might arise? Oh, well, there might be something to do with work. So if some of you guys have been perhaps on lockdown, Capricorn, that 8 of Coins could be that you're coming out of lockdown. You may be going back to the office. For some of you guys, you're going back to your workplace, for example, because it's saying something unexpected that might arise and it's got work on it. 8 of Coins is work. If you've been out of a job, it may be that the new job is on the horizon with the 8 of Coins energy, or it may be that with the 8 of Coins, something that might arise, training with the 8 of Coins energy, or it might be something happening within your workplace that wasn't there before. We do know that during this time that workplaces, certainly in the UK, are being put on the alert that if they want, if they want their employers to be back in the office, especially places where, you've got a lot of people congregating together, then certain measurements have to be put in place to make sure that things are safe. So I don't know how that'll be. Erecting screens and all this stuff and social distancing is pretty tricky to do when you've got hundreds or thousands of workers and that type of thing. But it does feel like the whole energy of the next 2 weeks is really about trying to adapt and accommodate whatever this energy is here with the 8 of Coins for you. How do you stay grounded and balanced over the next couple of weeks, Capricorn? The Knight of Cups energy. I feel that, if things are getting too much, for me, the Knight of Cups is all about expressing our emotions, opening up, being honest. So if things are getting too much with that Two of Coins, because the focus for the next 2 weeks is kind of like, needing to balance and manage certain things with the Two of Coins energy. It's all about trying to, keep those balls in the air with the Two of Coins energy and trying to maintain some form of, flexibility as well, because the Two of Coins represents the need to be flexible. So there's a need to kind of try and be flexible, especially if it comes to kind of work. Maybe some of you guys got kids not back at school and you're being asked to go back into the office, something like that. There is a need to really focus on being flexible as well. I think if things are getting too much, which they can do with the Two of Coins, it might be a need just to kind of open up and express oneself. Also, keeping oneself grounded and balanced with the Knight of Cups is about kind of following your heart and probably indulging in something creative. So if you've got a love of the arts, if there's something that you like to do, it's creative. You might like to do things like drawing or painting or pottery or singing or something like that. Anything that's creative, anything that you have a real love of with the Knight of Cups energy here, that could be something that's really good just to keep you grounded and balanced, because this looks like a little bit of, it doesn't look chaotic, but it looks like things are really kind of like picking up. An important emotion that you'll feel this over the next couple of weeks. Well, the emotion that you're going to feel is the 6 of Coins. So when coins show up in terms of emotions, I kind of see them as being more kind of values, that type of thing. But the Six of Coins is all about sharing, giving and receiving. And important that you, emotion that you may feel over the next couple of weeks, Capricorn, may be the need to share with others. Okay, and the emotion may be to share things that you have, share off yourself, because the Six of Coins is about charity and generosity and giving the resources that you have, sharing the resources that you have. So an important emotion that you may feel over the next couple of weeks is the need to share the resources, whether that be financially, whether that be food, whether that be information. The important information I think that you'll feel for some of you guys over the next couple of weeks is the need to share certain things, especially if they're resources that can help others. Something that may inspire you over the next couple of weeks, Capricorn, could be a mother figure, an empress. So this is a woman empress, or just somebody who's really kind and nurturing. It doesn't have to be a woman. It can be if it's a man that he's got really loving and sweet and caring qualities about him. But I think there's something that may inspire you. A couple of things I'm thinking, really. I think, number one, it could be a woman. Perhaps for some of you guys, it's your mum, or it's your aunt, or it's your sister, or it's a friend with the Empress energy. This would be somebody who's really kind, loving, nurturing, supportive. Could be a male with those qualities about them. But it could also be, because Empresses for me represent nature as well. So something that may inspire you is kind of nature, you know, greenery, trees, grass, just looking at the natural resources of the earth. That may be something that inspires you to do something as well. Also, the Empress represents giving birth to something creative. So some of you guys may be inspired to give birth to something new, to something creative showing up. Especially if things are getting too much in terms of the working situation showing there. How are your spirits advising you this week? How is Spirit advising you this week? What are they advising you? They're advising you to keep at it, to persevere with the Nine of Wands energy, to get your head down. Now, it may be over the next 2 weeks that you're finding that you're having to manage and, you know, balance certain things out. You may be required to be quite flexible here with the Two of Coins, especially if you've got children and you've got work at the same time, and things can get on top of you a little bit with that Two of Coins. But Spirit is advising you, especially if it comes to work, that if this does occur, then you've just got to keep your head down and you've got to keep at it, because this too shall pass. Finally, how best can you support yourself this week, or, well, the next couple of weeks? Let's have a look, Capricorn. The best way that you can support yourself is the Five of Swords. I think the best way to support yourself kind of is really to think about yourself first. Because one thing with the Five of Swords is a card about putting yourself first. Now, when you do tarot, you read the cards in conjunction with what the area is. So if you're looking, if the best way that you can support yourself, Capricorn, is through the Five of Swords, then what's he doing? He's cutting off people here. We don't really know what's going on within the Five of Swords. Usually we look at the Five of Swords as being pretty negative as a card. It deals with, you know, bitchiness, abandonment. It deals with people who are cruel. Cruelty is another theme of this card showing here. Deviousness is another theme of the card. You know, conflict is another theme of the Five of Swords card. That type of thing. People who want to assert themselves over others. Hurt is another theme of the card. But sometimes with the Five of Swords, it's not always that way. Sometimes the third swordsman here can be the person who's cutting himself off from these people here. Now, these people don't always have to be the injured party. You know, they may have done something wrong for this person to cut away from this. So the best way for you to support yourself, it may be for a couple of you people, not a couple of you, what am I trying to say here? It may be for some of you, there is a need to cut yourself off from certain people, perhaps. With this, with the Five, and it's got to be that. It can't be the other thing, because the other way to look at the Five of Swords is where somebody doubts, somebody has a lot of doubt, somebody has a lot of fears. That's no way to support yourself. So you must be this person here, and we must look at this card now as being the card of needing to assert oneself, okay? So putting oneself first. So in light of all of this, I think for some of you guys, it may be that some of you guys, the best way that you can support yourself is by just focusing on what needs to be focused on immediately. And maybe there is a need to cut off from certain people, especially if you don't have time for those people. Or maybe there's a need to cut off from certain people who you feel are kind of not making you feel positive, or they may be instilling a sense of dread or anxiety in you, you know, i.e. how are you going to do this? And, you know, do you have the time to do it? What you need probably is this, because this is somebody who will inspire you this Empress. So it could be you've got somebody around you that inspires you, who is kind and caring, but also very supportive and very uplifting, which the Empress can be. Therefore, how to best support yourself is cut off from the people perhaps that don't support you, from the people who bring negative energy to you. There's all sorts of reasons why he's doing this to those people. It doesn't always have to be the standard meaning. And the other thing is to really put yourself first as well. Really take care of yourself, even if it means it's to the detriment of some people. These people could be family members that are stamping their feet and things like that and saying, why don't I get the attention? And you're kind of like, look, I'm trying to manage everything as best I can. I have to put myself first at some point. So the best thing to do, I think, over the next couple of weeks, Capricorn, to support yourself is cut off from people who are perhaps not supporting you or not uplifting you in this time, and also to cut yourself off possibly from people who, you know, to all intents and purposes may be energy vampires. I think it may be a good time, really, especially if you're so busy here with this Two of Coins energy and you've got a lot of stuff going on at work and that type of thing. It really is going to be an important time to really focus on yourself and you know, and put yourself first. The other thing, especially if some of you guys are being asked to go back into a workplace, the best way that you can support yourself may be through, this looks like what's the word that we use now? Oh God, social distancing. It looks like social distancing, doesn't it, in a way? Even if people are upset by it, best way that you can support yourself as well is by distancing yourself from others if you can. Okay, especially if you have to go back into a workplace that you really don't want to, that type of thing. All right, let's have a quick look at what the spiritual advice is for you guys, Capricorn, then. So, Universe Spirit, what is the spiritual advice you have for Capricorn? In 2 cards, what's the spiritual advice that you have for Capricorn, please? Show me in 2 cards. Right, so it says your dreams are coming true. That card there. And confront. Okay, this is the Moon card, okay? So I think that there may be some fears or anxieties that you need to confront. If you want a dream to come true, it's time for you to confront your shadow self, because you can see the shadow self is here. This is the Moon card, but this is all about somebody confronting their shadow self. So it's about confronting your fears, confronting the things that you haven't wanted to look at. Because often when we want something to come true, we want a dream to materialize, to manifest. What often blocks us from having that, Capricorn, is when we've got something in our shadow that's blocking that from coming through. You know, whether that be a fear, whether that be depression, whether that be, long-term kind of mental obstacles, whether that be things that you've been brought up believing, that type of thing. That can all be in the shadow, and that needs to be confronted in order for dreams to come true, okay? For some reason, you're getting that message through, but that's what needs to be confronted. All right, that's your reading, Capricorn. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you'd like your own private reading, click on the link in the comment section or the end screen. Take care. Bye-bye.